Hi everyone, Susie here from Minnesota, and I garden in a Zone 4, and it is time for my June tour. I usually do weekly tours of all my gardens, but I think I'm just going to stick to the side here and to my backyard because there's just so much to talk about. And then I'll do another tour on the other part of my gardens. This is Miss Kim Lilac. It's one of the latest ones to bloom here, and the scent is very strong. I love it. It's amazing lilac. It's kind of nice that they all kind of bloom at different times. And they've lasted pretty long, I think. The weather has been pretty good. They're talking 95 degrees coming up here. Hydrangeas look really good. Looks like I have. I think this is just a dwarf lilac. It's almost finishing up here. Still smells really good. It's just loaded. I think this is the best year for my lilacs. This is the Bloomerang lilac, and it's finishing up. One of my first ones to bloom. Still have lots to plant. Just want to show you these 4 hydrangeas here. They were cuttings I took last year, and they're doing really good. I'll be bumping them up into gallon pots. The sun is very bright. I wanted to get this done a little bit sooner, but my battery ran out. Now it's about 11 o'clock, and the sun is a little strong. This is Climbing Rose on both sides here, William Baffin. And I had gotten this rose because it says it can take a little bit of shade. It is full of blossoms. I can't wait. Or full of buds. And there is a strong breeze today. It was just very windy. I planted my rhubarb here. It might be a bit big it might get a bit big for this area, but that's okay. It can come out to the path a little bit, and a lot of these that were planted were seeds I started. They were the Sightseeing Mixture Veronica. This definitely needs a good water here. Just the purple variety so far has been blooming for me. This is a really good one right here. And I started these seeds about February. A lot of this needed to get in the ground before now. You can see my foxglove here. I think this is the Dalmatian Peach hybrid. The foliage is a little yellow, but once that new foliage fills in, I'll kind of come back and trim off the others. Been having lots of issues with the rabbits and squirrels. Been trimming my echinacea here. We'll see if that does anything. Purple Sensation Allium is starting to go over. The tree peony is very beautiful when it's in full bloom, but it doesn't last long. So I'm not sure how I feel about the tree peony, and it just takes forever for it to get big. But still something. I mean, even you have to appreciate the seed heads too. Over in this garden, this is where I've been seeing a lot of rabbit damage. And I'm chewing on the leaves here. The zinnias look pretty good. Seeds I started early, about April. I'm going to have to give this a good water today to get through the next few days of mid-90s. This one's really pretty. It's the Queen series. Like Queen Lime Orange. I think one with blush, lime green, and then the red. Oh, I passed this up. Grasses are filling in rather nicely. They get really big. This is a Baptisia. The tag said, was it Pink Lemonade? I don't know if I still have that tag. I don't think it is. It looks more yellow, but hey, you know what? It's Baptisia. What's not to like about this? This is my Ito Peony, Julia Rose. You don't have to stake that one at all. Penstemon. I had gotten this perennial last year from Select Seeds online, and the plant was small, but wow, has it put on a lot of growth. I mean, it's really filled in. There are 3 little plants in here, and it's done this. The first full year of growing. Over here I have some dahlias that I had gotten the tubers from Walmart and started a little early. I'll be planting them here. More foxglove, I think the peach one. Like that new foliage looks really good. So. This clematis down here is Nellie Moser. I planted it last fall and it is an aggressive grower. So lovely. It's probably put on about 5 feet of growth just this season. It's already to the top here. Catmint, Snapeta, cat's pajamas. Lamb's ear is huge. I just planted this last year and it was like one stem, and it's filled in rather nicely, a little too aggressive, but I like it a lot. It might take over the sedum here, but I divided that last year. We'll see if it splits this year. The yarrow over here is getting its flower heads. Hoping they're yellow. They were on clearance, and so we'll see if they're all yellow or different colors. Even if it's the different colors, that's okay. Some bee balm down there. These salvias, they're perennial, and some were listed as May Night salvia, and another one was just blue salvia. So we'll see if they're all the same or a little different. I got this from my local plant sale. I think that'll look really good here. Down here I was able to find another type of hardy geranium. I love hardy geraniums. They're never going to be the star of the garden, but that foliage is just so pretty and the scent is amazing. And the bees seem to like it. That one definitely needs a little water there. And down in front here, I went with the dianthus. It's very tiny, but it doesn't get really big either. And this is the brand here. A lot of perennials, when I look for them, I look for that part sun on the tag. That way I know they'll do pretty good. Maybe not fantastic, but good enough. And in here, and I bought these plants from a greenhouse. It's a pincushion flower, scabiosa, kind of a horrible name. I'm hoping it kind of blooms all summer. So this is my cottage garden area. And I just have columbine down here that I started from seed. A yellow pink swan or pink yellow swan, something like that. Yeah, I love hardy geraniums just because that foliage, that scent is amazing. I just rub my hand over it. And in this little container here, I'm just gonna plant rosemary. I have dahlias here. These are other ones that I started a little early. It does have a bloom on. I'm still debating if this is where I want to plant them. Bridal Falls Hosta. Lady's Mantle. This is a daylily. It's called Going Bananas. Look at this. This is just, this one's not blooming yet, but it's definitely got a lot of buds on it. This lady's mantle looks unbelievable. The rabbits have been chewing on not this one, but another one. This daylily over here is struggling a little bit because this one is the same as the one over there, which it's 3 times its size. So this hardy geranium, which is Biokovo. Light pink flowers. It's not a repeat bloomer, so this is the only show it's going to give, but then I have this lovely foliage to look at all season. Just gonna This is an anemone. I may or may not leave it here. I'm still debating on that. So yeah, this daylily, it's already got 2 blossoms on it and it's really filled in. This is the one that the rabbits keep chewing on. You can see they're leaving leaves here. Maybe they've been doing enough damage. This hardy geranium last year was struggling a bit, but it's definitely filling in a little bit better this year, so I'm glad I left it. This whole area over here was a little less developed than the others, so I just put a good layer of compost on it. Maybe that helped, or maybe it was just having a mild season. You can see more rabbit damage. I moved this Brenner over here, so I grouped it together. I will be cutting off all of the flowers at some point, and then that beautiful foliage will be the star of the show. It's still blooming, so I'm just going to let it go for a bit. I really like this perennial. I say it's been blooming for about a month. Goat's beard is about 5.5 feet tall. There's just one plant there. The Summon Substance. There are times that I wish I could be in front of the camera so you can see how big these actually are. I start at the back and then work my way around to the back of the garden. The mosquitoes were out a little bit last night, not horribly, but enough that they are around. My town does spray, which I do like, and then I don't because I do get damage on plants from it. See how things are doing. I haven't checked on this. I should be better at it because I should be watering it. This is just an iris back here. It does get a lot of morning sun. And then I have Ligularia back here, all from a plant sale. Oh, the lily of the valley is still blooming. I need to get that watered. Whoops. The ferns look pretty good. I was hoping that they would put on a little more height. I think they're called Godzilla, but I did move them at the end of the season last year, so just glad they came back. World Cup hosta. This one is Komodo dragon. Beakwood drinking gourd. I want to say that one might be Brother Stefan. This is a Summon Substance. Gotten from a plant sale. Looks really good. We have had rain, but we definitely need some more. The rabbits have been chewing on this also. Not that it's a wow plant, it's native alum root, but you can see they've left the evidence, so I don't know why they chew it off but not eat it. Not that I care about those flower spikes, they are a bit big. The Stilby here looks really good. That one does too. That one was moved a number of times. I want to say this hosta here is stained glass. Yep. And humpback whale is just massive. I'm thinking I probably would not need that in there. It's just, it's covering that up. I don't think it's, and that's fine. I'll just take the potting mix out of Trevor here and just leave him on his own. He's cute as is. That is Empress Wu back there. It takes your extra large hostas a long time to get to their mature size. She was a lot better looking at one point. She's not horrible, but there was one winter where it was really tough. So she may not be the best in a zone 4. These Hakana coal grasses are okay. I'm going to move this little one here, group them a little bit closer, and then plant this in here. I think it's a blood sorrel. I tried growing clematis, and this is what came up. So I never got any clematis, but I figured, you know, this one is still hanging in there. I'll give it a whirl. Japanese anemone. More seeds I had started this year inside. Siberian iris. It's so pretty. Got this from a plant sale. Probably should cut off the blooms, but I'm just going to let it do its thing. I've been keeping it well watered. This is Chocolate Shogun of Stilby. This lady's mantle is starting to bloom here. The Pulmonaria blooms are coming to an end, but now the big foliage is pushing through, and that'll look really good. My pagoda dogwood Golden Shadows still is blooming, looks great. Giant fleece flower. I'll be going to the back of the garden, so it's a type of Persicaria, Painter's Palette. This is another perennial I started from seed early on, Anthos Valerian. I do have more, so I think I might plant another one there. It does get tall, but I think it's more of a see-through plant, so it's not going to obstruct the view of other things. Turtlehead Chelone on both sides of the bench here. It blooms in late season, kind of early fall. Maui Buttercups, Hosta, next to Rainbow's End. One of my favorite smaller variegated hostas. Very nice. This is Primrose. This has grown pretty tall, hasn't it, since I cut it back pretty harshly. Sabaria sorbifolia Sem. But I like it. This garden still is a work in progress. I've never been completely happy with this. I did put some coleus in a pot back here. It's in a little wagon for that different color. I just did that. It will fill out a bit more. The sedum looks really good. I'm just going to kind of give you a bigger pan of the garden. I have a lot of bee balm in here, so I just let it do what it wants to do. In here, there is a bit of a gap. I had a pot back here last year. I'm thinking I might plant more foxglove. I still have some. Campanula, the rabbits chewed off all the blossoms on that too. I do have kind of a peppermint garlic solution that I mixed up that I'm trying to use and see if it works. Don't know yet. This peony here is massive and full of blooms. I can't wait. This I think is just a beard tongue foxglove, something like that. Native. This is Stacky's Humelo down here. Not looking too bad. Along with lots of Creeping Jenny. This Oh So Easy Paprika Rose is loaded with blossoms. I can't wait. Or buds. I'm just kind of letting the Creeping Jenny do that and then maintain it. I kind of like the way it looks in the rock. I'm hoping I can find one more of this Ligularia and then plant it here. And I think that'll look good. I know I should plant in odd numbers, but it's huge. And I might plant some foxglove back here. Don't know. I think I will back here though. The Baptisia, this is gorgeous. I mean, look at that. It's not even full bloom and that color is just lovely. I really like this one. I think it goes by False Indigo, possibly. It will fill out a little bit more. I had just got these. They're North Pole Arborvitaes. It might be a little cramped in there. I think that's about 4 feet, but I'll just kind of keep them trimmed up. They get about 10-15 feet tall. I have Joe Pybeat in here and it's just not doing so good. So I think I'll like this here. It'll add a little winter interest. Look at the alliums. And the arborvitaes were on sale 30% off, so definitely worth it. More bee balm back here. It should have gotten taller, but still early. I mean, it's only the first week in June. I need to give things time. can't wait for that peony to start blooming. I just, oh. Probably shouldn't focus too much on this area back here. This is not a catch-all, but it's just where I store my... This is a really, really old wheelbarrow. It's the best one I have. I don't like that one. The tires are always going flat, and this... I love that little guy. I always feel like the older varieties of things just last a lot longer. Kind of like looking through this area, through the clematis growing up here, which is... Oh, I gotta kind of get on top of this and get it to go over. Wow. That one is pink mink. And the one over here, which is... You can see which way the wind blows. You know, it can kind of do what it wants. Is Viticella Polish Spirit. Yeah, I think I'll like that. Like I said, I love the Joe Pye weed because it brings in the monarchs. Love it, but it's split, and so I'm gonna. If there's some that grows in, that's fine. I'll leave it. It's a very natural garden. Avant-garde clematis. Yeah, this giant fleece flower, I would say, is 6 feet tall. There is lots of yellowing inside, and it's just because it's not as wet as it normally is around this area. I live in a wet climate, and it hasn't been all that wet. Normally my gardens, at least 2 or 3 times in the summer, is underwater. I have more still be back here. I think I'm just going to let it bloom, and then I will move it. Just a grass. To zoom out. Oh, and this peony is bulking out too. Can't wait. Look at my honeysuckle. This is the best it has ever looked. I don't know the variety. It could be Major Wheeler, but I'm not sure on that. There is no scent to this. And some people say there is a scent to Major Wheeler, so. But it loves it over here, that's for sure. Then in here, this is just Philipendula, Queen of the Prairie. It just goes all over the place. I do have a grass planted down here. It will get taller than that, hopefully. I'm just kind of filling that area. Alright, so hopefully you enjoyed my backyard garden tour, and bye for now.